Kaboom. Oh, man. I'll be glad to get out from underneath this floor. This is the last thing I got to do under here. Yeah. Oh. Whew. Okay. Okay. First going to strip these wires, then I'll start talking about these this little project. Okay. I'm stripping the wire here, pulling on this, reaching up in there and just barely tag it with a sharp knife. It just cuts like butter. Just like butter. Take this other piece of paper off. It's wrapped. That's wrapped around the ground. And I don't have to get it all the way. I'm about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 from the opening of where it comes into the box. And I always disengage. I always pull my blade back when I'm not using it. Okay, like that. And I can pull on that, put it out, and saw this off. I push it back in. I've seen some guys, they just leave it open the whole time, and you know, a good way to cut yourself if you're not paying attention. And sometimes you can pull this paper off if you kind of take it and push back and then pull like that. Okay. Now let's think about this. Remember I told you, if you were watching, I says I always put a loop on if there's a light switch in a box, and after I put the wire in, that goes from this light switch up to the lights. I didn't do that. If you caught me, give yourself an A, a gold star. Ha. But I know this is the power that comes into the box. That was the first wire I pulled in. Remember, I stapled it, and then the second wire I put over the top of the first wire. So I know this top wire goes up to the lights. Okay, so what I'm going to do with that is the black, the power wire, I'm just going to put a curly Q in it, just as a reminder. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for that. That's my switch, and this is the power coming in. Okay, the first thing I'm going to mess with are the ground wires. So I'm going to get my black wires kind of out of the way for now. I'm just going to work on these ground wires. Before I work on the ground wires, I'm going to have a receptacle, duplex receptacle on the right hand side. I could put it either way, but I'm going to put it on the right, and I'm going to have my light switch on the left. So as I come walking in, the crawl space is over there. So when I first come walking in, the first thing I'm going to do when I reach up, doink, is the light switch. I'm going to have the light switch over on the left and the receptacle on the right. And I'm going to look on both of those. They both have a ground screw. So I know that I'm going to have to put a ground screw connection on both of those, right? Well, right now, I gotta think about this here for a second. We gotta have all the grounds connected in the box. Okay? I can't just hook one of these to the electrical outlet, one to the light switch, because then I don't have a complete ground that goes all the way back to the electrical panel. These two have to be connected. Okay? So when I connect those two, let's just see how I'm going to do that. I've got a, I remember how to do it now. I've got just a little collar sleeve. It's just a little copper collar sleeve. And I'm going to connect these two together. I'm first going to take them in the back of the box. I'm going to wrap them around each other, okay, and then use my pliers and give it a good couple twizzles, like so. Now they're connected, aren't they? They're connected now. Put my collar on there, and then I've got to smash that on there. And they have a little crimper connector smasher goodie, but I don't have one, so I'm just using my pliers. I'm smashing that on there, and I'm bending over the edge of it. It's not ever going to come off. Okay, that just keeps it from unraveling. All right, it's never going to unravel. Okay, if I had a little crimper tool, I would use it. And just for the sake of argument, now that I got the crimper on there, because my wires are long enough, I can give it a couple more twizzles, can't I? My ground is sufficiently connected, isn't it? Now I can kind of grab it and push it into the back of the box, like that. And I've got, push it back in there. I've got one, let's see, for my light switch on, off. The ground wire screw is at the top. Isn't that funny? I don't know why they do that, but they do on this one. Lots of times it's down on the bottom, but this happens to be on the top. And the ground screw is on the bottom left for the electrical outlet. Okay, so I can reposition this. So I'm taking the longest wire that I had in there. I'm just going to rebend it. So I got it coming up out of the top left of the box. Okay, and then I'm going to reposition this one so it's coming out of the bottom left of the electrical receptacle, which is about in the middle. Okay, like that. So far so good. So I can reposition this. So I'm taking the longest wire that I had in there. I'm just going to rebend it. So I got it coming up out of the top left of the box. Okay, and then I'm going to reposition this one so it's coming out of the bottom left of the electrical receptacle, which is about in the middle. Okay, like that. So far so good. That's what you want. That's what you want on that so far. And now we've got the two white wires in here. And two black wires. I just gotta think about this here for a second. We've got the white wires are going to be connected to the electrical outlet. Okay, and the light switch doesn't have any white wires connected to it. All we're going to do is connect the black wires to that. A power coming into it and a power going out. And on a regular light switch, it doesn't matter if I got the black wire that goes up to the lights, whether or not I have it to the top screw or the bottom screw. It doesn't really matter. Okay, we'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. So that means I've got, I don't have to hook up any white wires to the light switch, and I can hook up two white wires on the back side of the receptacle. Well, I've got two white wires right here, don't I? I don't have to do anything with those white wires, do I? I can just have those exactly how they are for the receptacle. And so I'm going to cut those. I'm going to cut those back just a little. They're supposed to be about 6 inches coming out of the box. And I'm not gonna strip them just yet. I'm just gonna have them. I'm gonna have them here, like this. And now I've got a black wire, which is the power going into this box. Okay, that's why I had to distinguish which black wire goes up to the lights from the light switch, from power, from this area, right? And that's this one with the curly Q, so I know that. Okay, So that's going to be for my light switch. But I've got one black wire here, and that black wire has to be connected to my light switch as well as my receptacle. How am I going to do that? I only got one black wire. I need power for this receptacle, and I need power for over there.